The plane leased by Prigożyn took off from Moscow Sheremetyevo Airport before 6 p.m. yesterday and was scheduled to land near St. Petersburg after an hour and a half. The machine ascended to an altitude of more than 8,500 meters, but suddenly began to lose altitude in an abrupt manner. At 6:20 p.m., the plane disappeared from radars. Witnesses to the incident recorded the moment of the explosion. I heard the sound of the explosion while the plane was still in the air, and also noticed white smoke escaping from inside the falling wreckage. I was on the scene after 20 minutes, and there were people everywhere. I saw them pulling out the charred remains. As for what might have happened, let's put it this way, we all know what happened. On the passenger list of the Embraer Legacy 600, in addition to Yevgeny Prigożyn, there were to be Dmitry Utkin, Prigożyn's right hand, Sergei Propustin, Nikolai Matusev, and Yevgeny Makaryan, veterans of the formation, as well as Alexander Totmin, co-responsible for recruitment. The seventh passenger on the plane was Valery Chekalov, head of the security service. On the other hand, the cockpit contained two pilots and a flight attendant. According to many commentators, it is almost certain that Putin ordered the downing of Prigożyn's plane as revenge for the June mutiny of the Wagner Group. Of course, revenge for the putsch, but also the elimination of a man who introduced some inconsistency in the Russian regime. Therefore, in my opinion, from the point of view of Ukraine, it is bad that Prigożyn is dead, because he criticized Russian generals. Most likely there are traces of anti-aircraft missile use on the fuselage and wings of the plane, so I am personally very curious to see how this will be approached by the Russian Air Accident Investigation Commission, which will have to publish a report on what happened near Moscow yesterday. U.S. President Joe Biden also commented on the matter.
I don't know for a fact what happened, but I'm not surprised.
Do you believe?
There's not much that happens in Russia that Putin's not behind, but I don't know enough to know the answer. I've been working out for the last hour and a half.
Will you watch the debates later?
I'm going to try to get as much as I can, yes.
In June, Prigożyn instigated a mutiny against the command of the armed forces of the Russian Federation. The cause of the putsch was the shelling of the Wagner camp and the killing of many mercenaries, for which the head of the formation accused the Russian Defense Ministry. On June 24th, the Wagner Group entered Rostov-on-Don and then began moving toward Moscow. The putsch ended with an agreement between the Kremlin and Prigożyn, with Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko participating in the mediation. Yesterday, exactly 2 months after the coup, Prigożyn's plane went down 50 kilometers from the town of Valdai, where Vladimir Putin's residence is located. Yesterday, Putin's close friend Sergei Surovikin was dismissed from his post as commander of Russia's air and space forces. Surovikin was known for his undisguised affection for Prigożyn. Surovikin was most likely dismissed from his post earlier. He was sitting in Lefortovo after that putsch. In fact, for 2 months, he was most likely in the Lefortovo detention center, where information was extracted from him about who else in the military represents pro-Prigożyn sentiment. But it seems to me that the release to the world of this information, that he lost his post yesterday, is not coincidental. Although Prigożyn's death has not been officially confirmed, this is the version accepted by the Wagner mercenaries themselves. Mercenaries are announcing retaliation for the assassination of their formation founder. The consequences of the attack on this plane and the death of Wagner Group's top leaders will be very serious. And it's not just about the reaction of the Wagner mercenaries themselves, because they may be shaken up or they may be frightened having lost their leaders. They may not know what to do. But of course the question arises, what about the fate of those thousands of Wagner troops in Belarus? After the failed putsch, the Wagner troops stayed in Belarus. Today, Radio Svoboda reported that the Wagner Group mercenary camp near Osipovichi is being gradually dismantled.